Hello, Alex here, and I just wanted to share with you my visit to Sussex Campervans, which was just magnificent. Watch. And the first thing when I got there was immediately into the 3S mode. Everybody was doing some improvements, and myself, I found a little thing after I was sweeping to improve. Just a little bit of tape here and there.
They got a lot of nice girls.
It was in 5 minutes before I started to have great conversations with the team and look at their mindset.
Set up. So you just do the improvements every day.
Great,
You have a bigger
Saddam.
project. Do you have any other people helping you? It's lovely.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I fell in love with their routers. Their routers are so simple. They came like from 15 to just one page router, very simple. You can't go wrong because all the tasks that they need to execute are in order. If you have a question, you have a QR code, you have a place to sign off. Everybody is controlling the quality as the steps go on, and they can trigger a Kanban in between if needed.
Like a load of different piece of paper with like lots of bits of information you never need to know, and now we've just stripped it down to just what do you actually need to know to do the job. These 5 things, and this is the list of the processes, the QR codes to the process. Open it in Gemba Docs, sign it off as you go.
Wow,
Job's done.
This is
that is lean.
yeah, this is
Wicked lean.
And take a look what they implemented from Yellow Tools, the training matrix with the 4 quadrants from 1 to 4. Having level 1 wanting to learn and level 4 the level of expertise.
Agreement between the team leader and the person doing it, because the team leader can sign you off, but you might not feel comfortable with being signed off. So it needs to be a two-way agreement.
Right. There's clearly a great atmosphere in this shop, and everybody was talking about their improvements, and they really understood the value of eliminating the movement, the waste of movement, because everything should be at a hand's reach. And then I was invited to the morning meeting and was really curious who was driving it. I was trying to figure out who was driving the morning meeting and the slides, and it was this simple system that Sam was just swapping it from his phone. It was very, very cool. Then I went to their warehouse center and I saw the great improvements being done
Lean
there.
is some of the things we've leaned out. So yeah, where we used to use 5 or 6 different screws, we've leaned that down to 2. So some stock I don't need anymore.
I went to the warehouse and they showed me some fantastic work done. They have reduced by 1/3 the number of items that they have to reorder, and they use this 2-color bin system. So simple, beautiful. They use a RFID tag and they just pick it up and they scan it on their computer, and they know immediately what is it that they need to order. Boom, and it goes in the system and they order at the end of the day. They're using Kamishi by boards to reminding of the tasks needed.
These are my daily tasks, weekly tasking. So all these.
What's different on these boards is they are using our RFID card, and so they can go scan it and it will pop up what the task needs to be done. So here you see an example. They have developed a very cool system where they can see what of the processes in the shop are going on, if they've been completed, they're in process, or they're finished. And that is very cool for him to know when to activate and get those materials for them. And how many campers you are working at a time?
About 6, 7.
Yeah. So 4 in integration, 2.
Probably about 10 a month is what
10 a
we're currently
month.
at, but we think we can do a lot more than that. Yeah, we can probably do more like 20.
So there you go. No hesitation on the mindset that they want to create flow and improvements. It's fantastic. And here I went to the after service department where they actually capture some of their used vans from the market, and because they have a very great value to resell, everybody wants one and they can't get their hands enough on them. So they refresh them, they repair them if needed, and they give maintenance to the vehicle. Look and check all the accessories ready to go.
like that. Try and give the best we can. Sometimes try and exceed the expectation of a customer, so they would be surprised. Oh, I wasn't expecting this. Do that extra bit.
I was amazed with this mindset, giving an extra bit to the customer all the time, just giving them a little more than they expect. And look at, I was shown here a new design that they came up with to make a bed, and it was just by the same mindset of fixing what bugs them. Then the
This
what
is
to
some
do and what not to
key
do.
So these are some key recall bits of information. So there was a time when the control panel was being wired up wrong. So this is like a check they always do. Sort of quick references. So these are we use a Propex heater system, and these are the sort of the coils that have always.
And I love this example because they're not manufacturing in this after service department. They are really giving a service and they're applying lean. Look at how they use visual management to make sure that all has been checked in a vehicle. Isn't that really cool? Let's hear it from them.
We've assessed the paintwork and the interior cosmetics. We need to check it's got 2 keys. The graphics are fine. We haven't checked the fuel yet. So it's red when it hasn't been checked. And we check the service, the MOT, that's like a safety check on the vehicle, that date on that, and we just need to check the service. And so basically we can push it over to the right.
And as you go from department to department, you'll find these QR codes so they can scan in case they need to remind themselves of a SOP. And they had a great board to capture all the improvement ideas they have.
It's going to take an hour, it will take more than 30 minutes.
Put it in here.
And then you have to do, in progress, complete, and the names of the people who are involved in those improvements.
Okay. And you're gonna love this. Look at the carts they have built. I mean, they build their own carts to be able to sneak inside and be able to reach their tools. You saw that like U shape. And they have other carts with a modular baskets, if you will, and they can carry them on into the place of working inside the van. So I thought that was very, very cool. Look at, for example, here you have the carpet box, right? And it's to put the carpet.
In a couple of hours time, the whole van will be carpet. So, and then the last thing we do is put the floor in, and then we're ready for the furniture.
You don't need to be looking for everything is in that box by process.
Everything for the carpet is in that box.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they have identified that motion is one of their biggest wastes. And look at how they came up with ideas, just fixing what bugged them. They made this frame to be able to facilitate and spray on all of the glue and then just put it on the van. And they have their standards, they know what to cut. So they also cut the roll coming from the back, and they scribble on the front a ruler so they know exactly the size. They don't have to be using their tape measure. And here you can see where the roll of carpet comes from the back to the front, and it just facilitates. They cut them all, they stack them up here in a little box, and they're ready to roll. And it just makes their life a lot easier. And here they were showing me the standard SOP procedures that they used in order to do the carpet.
Scan the QR code, opens up the Gemba doc, shows all the different steps.
Nice.
Zoom and see what's going on with that particular step. Time has duration associated with it. Each of these are the Kanban points. So when he reaches this point here, 458, after that step, he will take this Kanban and physically place this. I'll show you.
So this is how they trigger other processes. So there's a Kanban into the next step, and they would put it on the next one to trigger, and someone can start preparing the next module. So they have flow. They're always looking for flow. They even do modules with solar panels so they can charge their batteries. Isn't that cool? And I visited the area where they do the furniture, and Adam was just a total giver. I said, what is your best, most favorite improvement? He said, the window, Alex. And I said, the window, yes. And he explained how from here, he put a window and now he could see. And from that little window, he gets a control and manipulates the machine so he can do all his CNC machining from this station and see what's going on. And if he needs to correct, he does it right on the spot. And listen why he loves this place to work.
So that's really important.
The freedom of being able to do any improvement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and the possibility of change and make things better.
Isn't that fantastic? And take a look, Sam was telling me about how he does 10 chats with different suppliers, key suppliers, to fix things and get things moving really quick. Flow, flow, flow.
Here, like Luke's saying, oh, I'd like to order this new template with this work, and these are the possible lengths we want it to be, and he's saying, yeah, very easy, you know, We can definitely do that. We have Mender Dent. They make dents go away, basically, so they do paintless dent removal. We'll just send them a video saying, we've got this vehicle with... He'll show, you know... I'm realising email is the most unlean thing in the world. You basically, emails from back in 2000 and it was good then, but now you want to ditch email, switch to WhatsApp, Signal, have WhatsApp groups, have Signal groups with your suppliers, and you can directly communicate the problems one-piece flow. They can respond within minutes rather than hours. You save yourself hours and hours of the week.
Isn't it fantastic having very nice chats with all of your key suppliers and fixing problems? And here we were moving into the upholstery area where they kit all of the orders by number, and so they know exactly right here in their system what is next, so they can focus on what is the priority and have flow. This is their sewing department. And Sam was explaining me that their supplier of foam had a lot of problems delivering the right thing, the right size, and it was just a chaos. They were about to change, but they decided to visit them and visit their Gambot, see the process, understand what's going on. And that's a great approach, because when you develop your suppliers, you're win-win. You are all into delivering quality from upstream. And so they also kitted all the foam cuts ready in a bag, ready to go, and they're more effective.
The templates into smaller sizes, and then they could get millimeter accuracy, no problem. Since then, we've had no issues and saved hour per bed.
Okay. And take a look at the upholstery of seats.
Cut that down to a 7.5 hour process.
3 days to 7.5 hours.
200% improvement from the original process that we got our hands on to where we are now.
Wow.
And this is the first place I've ever been in where the freedom and creativity to own your process has been implemented in the way that it has.
It was so clear to me that the liberty to do improvements are at its maximum splendor here. And they were struggling moving the seats in order to do the upholstery, and they came up with this turning wheel, and it was a game changer for them.
It's evidence that it's been passed on, and we're doing something right if people feel the confidence to go and make this sort of drastic improvement without having to get permission from up top and run it by people, and just have that enthusiasm to do it.
Excellent. They had many vans in stock ready to service the customer. Tell me, what is your best improvement?
Getting rid of everything. It's very simple.
You got rid of a lot of stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Sort it out. The best improvement for him was 3Sing. And look at how he did a little schematics that would guide him how to install the mechanisms for the roof. And he had a great improvement of how to cut the hole on the roof, and it was a game changer. The shape of the well and all.
Yeah, instead of drilling from the outside and obviously working it all out, mark the holes on the inside and drill them, and then on the top draw around it. And
you connect the dots.
Yeah, it went from this process taking 2 hours to do that.
2 hours to 12 minutes.
Now 12 minutes.
Wow, and I bet the quality is a lot better.
It fits first go every go on every vehicle.
So instead of having all these patterns and marking the roof and the top, he just saw that the inside is already marked. He didn't have to do anything but to cut the roof. Isn't that fantastic? What a thinking. You can tell through the 3Sing, he set up all his tools, easy to find, easy to mark, easy to handle. Look at the carts with wheels there to be able to manipulate the roofs, and steps in order to facilitate the access. And we had a little safety moment here, and he was able to fix it, and he is total game changer. Sam was explaining me how he has this little center where everybody can come and print something out, laminate it, and just be able to do some visual management in a very easy way. They're always finding ways to solve the problem upstream, and this little cord that needs to go in the zipper, they ask the supplier to add it to the kits that they buy, and it was done at a cheaper price that they could do it. There is no coincidence. The fact that these campervans are just amazing and super quality is the combination between great leadership, great mindset, and empowerment of their people to do improvements. Way to go, guys.